Hello, the internet, and welcome to season 374, episode 3 of Daily Zeitgeist.
Yeah!
It's a production of iHeartRadio. It's a podcast where we take a deep dive into America's shared consciousness. It's Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. 2525.
Damn.
I mean, yo.
Big days. Big days.
What?
Look, this is a big few days.
What?
So, Monday, the Geist Child's birthday. Today, Her
Hey.
Majesty and I's fucking wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Love you, babe. Been through it all now at this point. We've been through it all. Gotta say, we're by each other's sides, and we're stronger than ever. I love you, baby.
Oh, man. This sounds like the beginning of a yacht rock song, you know? Been through it all.
Been through it all with the fires burning around us.
Jesus Christ. That would be
I gotta
the
use
best.
Michael McDonald, yeah.
Yeah. The best genre to memorialize the fire that destroyed your life.
Get Michael McDonald to sing a
Fire
song.
burning round.
Nothing burning hotter than our love.
That's great. Except for that one fire. All right.
This shit could melt steel beams.
Wait.
9/11.
9/11.
Yeah,
9/11.
got to.
9/11.
I love
The Westboro Baptist Church.
9/11.
9/11. Anyways.
Oh wait,
we'll link
February
up to
5th.
that.
Also, it is again. I should say yes. It is the wedding anniversary. It's also National Girls and Women in Sports Day. National Shower with a Friend Day. Oh,
Hell yeah.
And National Weather Person's Day. Shout
Love
out all of
showering
you.
with my homies.
When is National Shower with a Weather Person's Day?
That's actually the 18th. 4 days
Looking
after
forward to
Valentine's Day. Yep.
God,
2/18.
the number of rain metaphors and puns that would be happening as you showered with a weather person.
Oh, God.
Like calls for shower, you know? Like that
Yeah,
sort of
we're
thing.
having
I'm
a
like-
hard front moving in down
Yeah.
south.
Damn.
Dallas Rains,
Yeah.
why are you in my shower right now?
You didn't check your calendar?
Yeah. We got a shared calendar on the phone. Didn't you look at it? Oh, all right. Well, maybe we're not a couple.
My name is JackO'Brien, a.k.a. Every decade there is some trade that makes me wanna cry. I ask myself why, oh why. Kareem, Gasol, and Shaq, Chris Paul, oh how they had tried. And now Luka is a Laker. How is Luka a Laker? How is Luka a Laker?
I don't know.
How in the world did they make Luka a Laker? Traded Anthony Davis with coupons. Now they got them a Lion who's not even 28. How is Luka a Laker? How is Luka a Laker? LeBron the GM's a wonder. That one's
Ooh.
courtesy of Halcyon Salad on the Discord. You know, went a little long, but I'm not editing any of that shit because I know that song. So,
Because I gotta belt out that Wyclef.
Wyclef. I'm thrilled to be joined once again by my co-host, Mr. Miles Gray.
Yes, it's Miles Gray. Straight from the ashes, I come back to the microphone to bless y'all with my half-baked takes. I'm still getting back into the swing of things. It's the Lord of Lancashire. It's the Viceroy of Ventura Boulevard. The Marquis de Moore Park. Thank you so much for having me, Jack. I know you were like, dude.
You're welcome. The Phoenix of... right?
The
Isn't that-
Phoenix of... Phoenix of
jokes?
Fulton. Fulton. Yeah.
Phoenix of Fulton. There we
Fulton.
go.
That was
I
right by
like
my
it.
high school. Yeah. There he is. I'm back. I made this joke with Her Majesty. We're like, we should probably get tattoos after being through this shit. And she was like, yeah. And I don't know why. I sincerely was like maybe like a phoenix or something. And she was like, I'm going to leave you. And I was like, all right, never mind. I'm a workshop that. I'll be right back.
Maybe like, I don't know, like a phoenix.
And then I earnestly was like, Ben Affleck has one.
Yeah, he does.
A phoenix?
Yeah, he has a full back tat of a phoenix, and it's
Is it
not
near
good.
Is it near the crack or up?
It
further?
basically goes from shoulders nearly to the
starts.
top of the crack.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
I
full
respect
back.
that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
yeah. It's Mike Allstott because it's a fullback.
Deep
Timely '90s Buccaneer reference.
I know. I think a lot of people probably like me assumed that you were about to do like a Machiavelli, aka when they heard the church bells, but those are authentic church bells, I believe, coming all the way from Italia.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Well, who's that?
Well, who's that then? Thrilled to be joined in our third
It's
season.
the Pope.
It's the Pope.
It's the Pope.
We're joined by the Pope.
Hey.
Papa. One of the funniest comedy writers doing it anywhere. You know her words from the account Birds Rights Activist on Twitter. Some more news with Cody Johnston from Creature Feature. Secretly incredibly fascinating. Please welcome, coming all the way from Italia, right next to Il Papa. It is the brilliant, the talented Katie Goldin.
Katie!
Blessing. I don't know how do the handsome blessing. I bless. I
Like
bless
Spider-Man.
You just did the
I
devil
bless you.
horns.
I bless all of you. Blessings
Do you really not
upon
know
you.
the sign of the cross?
Goes like.
Why did you
there's
say it like
a-
that? Do you really not know the sign of the
line.
cross?
Do you really not know it? No, I'm teaching it to my kids because, we have to go to church with my parents sometimes. So I'm like, left,
It's the
right,
cool S, right? It's the
top,
Stussy.
bottom.
It's the
Yeah,
Stussy.
yeah. Stussy. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Jesus Christ.
Sneezes. How you doing, Katie?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in Italy. And
I know, that must not be bad.
Not in the U.S. right now.
Oh,
Sorry.
they're
Sorry.
making a big deal about it over there, but it's everything's fine.
It's weird to me that we literally have a neo-fascist as our prime minister, Maloney, who's like part of a rebranded neo-fascist party, and I'm less worried about that than
Yeah.
the U.S.
Right.
Is it because y'all have been there before and you're just like, this Italy does?
Yeah, I mean,
We know how it ends for
We get a little
fascist leaders
fash.
of
We do
Italy.
fashion and
Yeah.
fascism.
It's America.
You know what I mean?
I think that's correct. I think people in other countries should be scared of this
It's-
particular brand of
so
fascism.
what are we gonna do? Like, take away your pasta? I don't know what Italy could possibly do.
They
That
will
would
take away your
I
pasta.
think they'll just
Yeah.
probably just brutalize migrants and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's it. That is what they do.
I mean-
That kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Miles, for bringing the mood down.
Well,
For all our funny fascism jokes.
Gonna talk about how chicken Alfredo's not real, and you gotta talk about migrants being persecuted.
Sorry, the flames have changed me. They have changed me.
They've burned everything inessential away.
Oh, you should get a tattoo of Khaleesi.
Oh.
I was gonna say the Terminator skeleton.
Yo, that
A Khaleesi Terminator.
full back tat.
Yo, Khaleesi Terminator. Wait, you get Terminator, her Madge gets Khaleesi, or
Right.
vice versa, and then they're reaching out, touching fingers. So when you stand next to each other,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like God and Adam. Or wait, what's
yeah,
that?
God and
Sistine
Adam, but there's a
Chapel?
little flame there between the fingers.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Or I was thinking of like a T-1000 holding a dragon egg walking out of the fire.
Right.
Uh huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, things that walk out of fires.
I don't know.
Go.
Zeit Gang,
That walk
look.
out of fires.
Zeit Gang, my DMs are open for emerging from the flames tattoo ideas. So far,
Yes.
we have Phoenix and some kind of Khaleesi Terminator mashup.
I think there was a Nicolas Cage character, Ghost Rider. I think that.
He was the fire.
He was the fire.
He
And
was
that's-
the fire.
Didn't he just die in a
I
fiery
get my
stunt?
scriptural readings wrong all the time. He
Right.
was the fire.
He was the skeleton that is on fire.
Johnny Blaze.
I didn't think he burned first,
Just
right?
Blaze.
I thought
Uh,
wasn't he in a terrible motorcycle accident?
I think he was in a motorcycle.
that made him
Okay.
Johnny Blaze because he's like a stuntman gone awry.
Is that right? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
movie.
the only Johnny Blaze I honestly acknowledge, and I think Jack's on the same page with me here, is the one and only Method Man. So maybe
That's
I'll
right.
just do that.
Just do a Method Man.
The Ticalian Stallion.
Right. Or like Jeff Bridges' character from Backdraft. No, that's not the right.
No, Blown Away.
Yeah. Yeah, Blown
With
Away.
Tommy Lee
That's what I
Jones, where he was
thinking
like,
of.
like wasn't his backstory like he was like this Irish dude who kind of was like, that's why Tommy Lee Jones was coming after him.
I don't know, man.
Tommy Lee
Whatever.
Jones is
Hey,
very
look,
anti-Irish.
I got a lot of tables.
Yeah, all right, my bad. I'm sorry I
Katie,
keep asking
we're-
you about Blown Away every time you come to check on us.
Katie, we're thrilled to have you. we're going to get to know you a little bit better. First, we're going to tell the listeners a couple of things we're talking about. We are going to check in with them Doge boys or them ex-boys from Doge Town. We're still workshopping the title.
Doge,
Big
the
Dick
ex-boys from Doge.
Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky and his homies, who are Elon Musk's like team of children who he has like turned over control of the government to, sort of. We'll talk about like what all this means. Everybody's like, Elon Musk was like paid a bunch of money to win an American election that was like stacked in their favor. He must be right about everything. Let's turn the entire government over to him. So we'll talk about what that's looking like. And we're going to talk about a new breakthrough from CES that we had to wait for Miles to come back to talk about.
I know. I did text you amidst the recovery. I said, don't fucking talk about this until I'm back. I want to talk about this. I know what happened 3 weeks ago.
The fire. You texted me with that. Yeah.
I know. And then you were like, how are you doing? I'm like, dude, if you talk about this, I'm going to be pissed. How am I doing? Fine for now.
Yeah. Don't try and distract me. Don't change the subject.
Yeah, that's my kid crying in the background. Don't distract.
We're going to talk about a breakthrough in robotic girlfrienddom, robotic companions. And we might, the Grammys happened over the weekend. Someone wore a house on their head. I don't know. Yeah. We might talk about that.
That was Jaden Smith.
Yeah. I'm just mainly I'm curious if you guys think I can pull it off. And we might talk about the Super Bowl.
If only I could have worn my house on my head. I could have trotted on out.
Like a human turtle.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's your privilege, Jaden Smith.
That's your privilege, wow. Jaden Smith.
All right. Katie, before we get to any of that, we do like to ask our guests. You may know this about us, but we do like to ask our guests sometimes what's something from their search history that's revealing about who they are. And first of all, I guess we got to ask, what are you using for a search engine over there? Is it like Google?
It's Ragoogle.
Ragoogle.
Oh my God. What have I come back to?
Oh shit, Miles just quit.
Oh, fuck.
Ragoogle.
Well, my search
Miles,
history.
is that something?
Yeah, it is.
It's anything.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely something.
It is how to pronounce Backpfeifengeschicht.
Well, it sounds like you found the answer.
Backpfeifengeschicht. Because it apparently means in German one who is slappable, which I think is a useful word to know.
Backpfeifengeschicht.
Backpfeifengeschicht.
Can you put that in the
German,
chat?
Yeah.
So I can see that word.
Well, it's actually spelled how it sounds, Miles. So just
Big Five and shit.
Big Five and shit.
Big Five and shit. Shout out to
St. Joe's and Villanova used to be in the Big Five and shit.
There it is. Also, I have a wonderful sound clip of someone actually saying that I can share.
Back Five and shit. There was the sound clip. Sorry.
But yeah, I was talking to some Italians, and we all agreed that German is the most ridiculous language.
So good.
It is, but I do love how you can stack concepts almost infinitely into one word. This one is like one who is deserving of a firm slap. So
let's hear it from a robot or a human.
Backpfeifengeschicht.
Backpfeifengeschicht. Backpfeifengeschicht is how Bay is breaking it down for us.
Oh man, I'm so sorry to our German listeners. But we love pretend German over here, don't we, folks?
That sounds, I know. I've been told that Der Daily Zeitgeist not correct, not how that works.
Yeah, I mean that was a note.
Is incorrect.
I think that was a note that we got literally episode 1.
Yeah. And I was like, and I tried to change it, and I was like, that's just how the
Nah.
word wants to be said by me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the way I'm gonna make it do what it do. To
I
quote
love
Ray Charles.
I love
you know?
Anders from the Workaholics. It's that dirt. Just got
I think
dirt on
Germany's
his
just going to have to get over it, though.
brain.
Yeah, I think they will. The pronunciation that we just listened to sounded a lot like me pronouncing a thing, because they like start really strong and then lose all confidence and like swallow the end of the word.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I was in Gerbening, and it's great because Gerbening, I don't know any Danish, but the key is exactly that. I went to a pastry shop, and there's like all these words that they're too long, they're very complicated. But I was like, if I just start out strong and then trail off, like I would like a Everskabnation. And they totally bought it. They were talking to me in Danish, and I was like, "Yeah, tak, yeah, da, yeah."
They're looking around. They're like, bro, she just did the "I'll take 3 whiskeys" thing. They're like, nah, I saw that. I clocked that. Yeah,
is it that?
That's what he was supposed to do, but he didn't with this.
He's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did the Tarantino.
They have
thing.
great pastries.
It was very good pastries, and it's definitely, you just like, because like what looks like Abel Skeever, if you just go Abel Skeever,
Yeah,
you got it.
Sound
Yeah,
like a
because
local.
Oh, because you were saying Copenhagen like Copenhagen.
Right.
Yeah.
And apparently Tivoli Gardens is pronounced Tivoli.
Right. You just mumble and you sound like a local.
I think there's a joke that like the Danes sound like they're trying to talk with a mouthful of potatoes.
And that sounds like a joke that was written in the 1800s.
By the Swedes.
By the Swedes, I was going to
Swedish
say.
people.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
Swedish joke. Yeah, that
They
reeks
talk
some
like
Swedish humor.
Yeah.
They talk like they have potatoes in mouth.
Yes.
Oh.
And that is how Swedish people
I always
sound.
love hearing the insults that people in neighboring countries have for each other. They're like so specific.
Yeah.
Like I remember being in Africa and people were like, Ghanaians work too hard. And I was like, what? Like, okay.
Hey, man.
Interesting.
Fucking true.
Yeah. And Ghanaians like, oh, Nigerians? Wow, don't get me started on that. I'm like, look, I'm here for some Albuquerque.
Katie, what's something you think is underrated?
Underrated.
Yeah.
Do you want to do overrated first or underrated?
You can do anything, but I said what I said. I did ask you for underrated, Katie.
Katie, do overrated.
Shit, I'm not even the fart. One
Do overrated.
thing that I think is overrated is avocados.
Just whose show is this? I love this.
Yeah.
I love
not
this
mine.
energy. I'm sorry, what is overrated is what?
Avocados. Don't like them.
Oh, you just don't like them?
Oh,
At all?
avocados.
Avocados. Avocado. Don't like them.
Avocado.
Avocado. Don't really like guac. I don't really like guac. I can eat it. I'll eat it. Someone makes me guac, I'll have to eat it because it's
you're not
like eating kind of money.
Oh, because it's so expensive.
Like cocaine. It's become cocaine. It's like,
Yeah.
The cocaine of foods.
Yeah.
I mean, with the
Right.
tariffs, that's like one thing that they keep putting in all the news articles about, like, what could tariffs make more expensive? And they're like, the avocados, man.
Say
Avocados.
goodbye to some cado. Yeah. That shit's
This
over.
might be your last weekend to have guac at your Super Bowl party.
I think avocados and guacamole have a marketing problem because there is so much bad guacamole out there that is masquerading as guacamole, and like it should like there's a version of it that is just like flavorless mayonnaise that gets packaged and sold as guacamole, whereas like the fresh I'm a big fan of. Are you, Katie, a person who thinks cilantro tastes like soap?
A little bit.
Yeah,
Not too
there it
bad,
is.
but a little bit.
There it is.
Yeah.
Did I diagnose it, Miles? Did I?
Yeah, Jack, you got something there.
Miles,
that was a
did I get
direct
that
hit. Direct hit. You just sunk her battleship, dude.
Weirdly, I think soap tastes like cilantro.
Uh-huh.
In a good way. Put little slices on there. Little
Yeah, I was like,
shavings.
that's what I thought you were eating earlier with a knife. I was like, what are you scraping off little peels off of? You're like, some cilantro.
Wow, Katie has a cheese board.
With
It
a
looks
bunch
like
of
Irish Spring.
Oh.
Well, our mind is obviously going to go there because it's the only soap where people have like cut it with a knife.
With a knife.
Like it was a piece of cheese. Katie's been hiccuping bubbles the whole time. Okay, smart guy. What is underrated?
I shared a link with you. Do you know Huell Howser?
Oh, yeah.
California Gold.
I love him.
Huell Howser.
Huell Howser.
Obviously,
Amazing.
The avocado eating dog. Yeah, that dog's eating avocado.
Because I went with an avocado theme because I kind of wanted to be fair to the noble avocado, even though I personally think it's overrated, as is guacamole. I understand that would upset a lot of people, so I did want to share Huell Howser losing his mind over a dog eating avocados.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you seen the one where he goes to the ladybug farm?
I don't
That's
think so.
another
That's
banger, Huell Hauser. Wow, those
So
are all
for
ladybugs
people
over
who-
there.
I know about this from, I think it's like a Doug Loves Movies back in the day, like one of the very early podcasts, which I think is still out there, but would have, I forget who the comedian, maybe it was Gareth Reynolds, but he would have somebody on who did a Huell Howser.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, who is Huell Howser? And went down the Google rabbit hole. But he is just the most endlessly entertainable human in the so enthusiastic and just like, wow, that's amazing.
He's absolutely just he's like the West Coast Harry Carey, like just like, hey, I love this stuff.
It's a song eating avocados.
He's the real world version of Will Ferrell's
Harry Carey. Yeah, exactly. Here, so this is him.
What's that dog doing?
Your dog is eating an avocado.
Yeah, that dog eats avocados. All our dogs eat avocados. If you're an avocado farmer, your dog likes them too.
I've never seen a dog eat avocados before.
How clean that shell is. That shell's
Look,
don't get much cleaner than that. You don't get that clean in your kitchen.
Look at this. That dog ate every speck of that avocado.
That one's gone.
Now, do you have a healthy dog?
I got a very healthy dog.
it's like that is such an innocent pivot.
I know. Now, do you
have a healthy
dog?
No, he has actually terrible bowel issues.
I would like to say that if you give your dog avocado, make sure it's not eating the pit, because that apparently is a peril. But in the extended clip, they do
the little wooden ball in the middle.
The little wooden ball. The dogs don't eat they're smart dogs, so they don't eat the pit.
My dog would eat the shit. My dog would go all the way in after just the wooden ball.
I would ignore the meat. It would just go
ignore
for
the nutritious green stuff around it. Just find the ball, swallow 5 of those.
It would drop the pit off of a balcony and Looney Tunes style run down to be under it when it hit her on the head.
Yeah. It would look like an entire rack of billiard balls in its belly when it got an x-ray. They'd be like, what the fuck?
Just bolding with
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
It's been
there he is.
Terrible. I got to do it. Sometimes things are so bleak that I have to take it back to it's been and my wife. Should I just do this recap from The Verge? Just because I don't know what all of this means, but
it's all bad, right? Because
it's all bad. So. Just because, so we know Elon Musk has been given a lot of power, that he's hacking into various.
Not even hacking, just pulling up, being like, "Give me the fucking password. I'm the admin access now. Fuck out of here."
An illegal server in.
Yeah. Doing his own shit. Yeah.
So he pushed out the head of the FAA before all the plane crash stuff. Then the reports came fast and thick. This is from The Verge. Federal employees received a fork-in-the-road email highly reminiscent of Musk's Twitter ultimatum, encouraging them to resign, sent from an insecure server, just like a Gmail. A bunch of goons, some of them actual teenagers, reportedly got access to the U.S. Treasury systems, read-only reportedly for now. Longtime civil servants were locked out of their personal systems that, by the way, house the personal data for government employees. Musk's lackeys are in control of the Office of Personnel Management and the General Services Administration. They've gotten a hold of classified information and are now shutting down the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. Musk said he, quote, spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper, and has also bragged that he, like, deleted an entire agency at one point.
Yeah.
So it sounds exactly like early days of Twitter. If Twitter was everything that makes the U.S. government, like basically the U.S. government.
Yeah. Well,
also, I have some friends who work as federal employees. I'm not going to say where or what their names are, obviously, but like,
right.
They said that they have been receiving these emails and they're full of like typos and weird mistakes. It just like looks like someone fired it off on the toilet and sent it off while like having the ketamine shits, which is probably what happened.
They're like, it said a bunch of stuff about Twitter HQ. I think they just copy and pasted this thing.
Right. It feels like that. And I just, because he was like, you know, spent a bunch of money to back the side that won the election, an election where like the Democrats fought intentionally with both hands tied behind their back for some reason. I mean, for a number of
They're called
reasons.
Neoliberal handcuffs.
Yes. They were neoliberally handcuffed. And so an easy election to win. He's being given credit for winning it, and all his past mistakes, the way that America likes to do. He's just being recast into this guy who's right about everything, and everybody's forgetting that Twitter was broken when he took it over, broke it, and it's not really not broken yet. He's done a terrible job. So he's doing the same thing he did when he broke a thing, and there's no real evidence of a plan. And
just to make the government more efficient, man. That's just what they'll keep saying over and over. And I mean, he has like this team of people like at the youngest 19 and around the oldest 25 to 26 of true, like real by the book definition of like true believer type kids who have a bit of computer savvy and know how IT systems work and are going in and nosing around. And now these fucking kids have, after infiltrating all these like agency offices, now, like, again, have access to these sensitive databases and, you know, like the payment system for the Treasury Department where, you know, they pay people out for things like Medicare, federal salaries, Social Security grants, you know, really vital shit. And they're basically, like you said, they're just like many people are pointing out, like the Silicon Valley thing of just like move fast and break shit, man. But
move fast and kill old people.
Yeah.
Move fast and starve the elderly to death.
Right. Exactly.
I saw there was like a New York Times article by Michelle Goldberg who compared it to the like after the Iraq invasion, like the sort of de-Baathification of the government, where they fired a ton of Iraqi employees and replaced them with like kids from the U.S.
Right.
Who didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, so there is a precedent. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, that one, I feel like...
and that turned out all right.
That one went well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few, like, problems, like, after the invasion with people dying and things being broken, but, you know...
Oh, I didn't read that part.
No,
yeah,
I mean, I stopped paying attention when Bush landed on the aircraft carrier, but I'm pretty sure...
He has such a big codpiece there. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. It is a beautiful codpiece. Shout out to Big Dick Doge.
Oh yeah, Big Dick Doxboyevsky.
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 Jack.
Which is Yeah.
My bad. I always get his name wrong.
Yeah.
I confuse him with my other favorite guy, Doge Toyevsky.
Yeah.
Doge
Well, this is the
Doge
thing.
boy.
So a lot of these people have been named,
Miles,
right?
you want to get back to talking about what actually happened instead of just getting lost in a big dick Doge Toyevsky?
I mean, as much as I want to get lost in Big
one
Dick
of 'em-
Dostoyevsky's
One of them's
lore.
screen name is Big Dick.
Right.
So that's why.
Is that
I'm
real?
Explaining. Yeah. Like he had a screen name called Big Dick. I don't know which one of these little broccoli heads it is, but
Yeah, there's so many. So there's like a 21-year-old named Akash Boba, 21 years old, a student at Berkeley. Edward Korestein, 19 years old, a student at Northeastern University in Boston. He's also, his dad owns some like popcorn company too, who's like some
the
lawyer.
lesser evil foods.
Yeah, right. Then there's Ethan Shautran, 22, who said in September he was a senior at Harvard. The ones that have degrees are Luke Ferreter, who's 23, who went to the University of Nebraska. Gautier Cole
He's
Killian.
the one who, like, you zoom in on. When you look at the group of pictures of them, he's the one you're zooming in on because he looks straight up evil child syndrome.
Yeah.
I mean, Children of the Corn going on.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So these again, they have captured these systems, and some were reporting that they only had read-only access. It sounds like that is not the case anymore, as I've read today, other reports, because this shit is moving very, very quickly. But the added attention from this group of kids becoming so influential has led them to try and scrub their digital footprints. But, the internet always remembers. And it turns out at least one of them loves to retweet and like Nazi shit on Twitter. Surprised.
Okay.
Aren't we?
Don't you mean the heart goes out to you stuff? Like, I think that might just be my heart goes out to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a fan of hearts going out to
Yeah,
things.
the 14 words being my heart goes out to you, and then other stuff that adds up to 14
right.
words.
Exactly. And then again, their actions is totally illegal. And this is truly just such a bizarre fucking coup happening. And these kids are sitting at the levers of shit like the Bureau of the Fiscal Service. They distribute more than $5 trillion in government payments annually.
It's the government's wallet. Like, it's all the money that the government uses to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
And that has to be approved by Congress. It's like part of the checks and balances. The executive is not really supposed to control the coin purse in the sense of, like, actually dispersing the funds, because then what could happen is Congress could be like, hey, maybe pay these fire victims or hurricane victims some money from FEMA, and then if the Doge boys could just be like, don't feel like it.
There is no FEMA. Be gone.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very fucked up. And like you're saying, like the business of funding government programs and the funding of that's Congress. So we've got a constitutional crisis ahead of us. And while there are lawsuits happening to try and stop this, and there are a few unions who have sued to stop, Doge's access to the Treasury, they're, we'll see if this turns into any kind of capitulation. But I don't think so.
The lawsuits move slowly. You have to prove harm, right? So by the time you can actually do a lawsuit, you have to prove that you have suffered some harm, which means they've already done the harm.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, if they delete all this, how do you fix that, right? Once they've done enough damage at a certain point, it's going to be extremely difficult to undo the damage.
We're all in that first 24 hours of, a movie where they're like, they're missing. And they're like, well, they need to have been missing for 36 hours before we can do anything about it. You're going to have to take matters into your own hands.
Have they died? Well, that's what I don't want to happen. Well, if they die, let us know.
Any fingers?
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, except right in front of the police, they see the killer slashing at them. It's hasn't been 36 hours yet. Gotta
need
wait
another couple.
I don't know.
They
might be doing.
I've set a timer on my phone, so yeah.
Are they doing a TikTok video or something where they're pretending it's a kidnap? I don't know. Anyway, the jury's still out on that one. The wild thing too is
by the way, the government's going to buy TikTok, but that's no big deal.
Oh yeah, because he said we should just have a sovereign wealth fund. Shout out Saudi Arabia for giving him that idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is also very interesting. There's also a really interesting, I guess, metaphor here from one of the stupidest senators in history, John Kennedy from Louisiana. he's talking about, because obviously USAID going down is like a huge thing. And, you know, even like the most backwards conservatives knew it's like, you know, when you're trying to like preserve your global hegemony, maybe you toss out little crumbs to developing nations. So like you kind of stay on their good side. But
right,
even
it's USA's soft power globally.
Completely gone, like even stuff that like helps people stay alive. But this is how John Kennedy was like.
It's kind of cool having a president again. Let me try to put all this in context for you. I like omelets. I mean, I really like omelets. I could eat an omelet at every meal. I like omelets better than sex. Not really, but you get the point. I like omelets.
He must fucking suck at sex. Just if he's like, I'd rather have an omelet.
Not really. I'm good at sex. I love it. It's good.
Actually, I love sex. I do sex all the time. I had like 3 sexes this morning, so you know how that goes.
This is fucking terrorism. This motherfucker making us picture him having sex.
I like omelets.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
More than sex, boy. I like
segs. I like eggs and
egg
sex.
Eggs.
I'm having segs all the time.
Is he just making the gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet thing? But like he needs to do this big wind up to like try and make it feel relatable.
He's also doing this thing where it feels like such conservative old guy feeling themselves, where it's like, hey, we're in control again. All right, now that I got the microphone, let me just say the dumbest shit that doesn't track, because I'm hopped up on this pseudo
federal
confidence.
Agencies workers tofu eating wokerati, given that like an unelected like billionaire with a group of unelected Doge boys like are now in charge of all of the government's money.
But the Illuminati are people who are lifetime public servants who get paid shittily to do the work that they could get paid much better for in the private world. But of course, that work is ultimately just killing people. So
it's very, very twisted logic.
First of all, what a just crazy wind up to get to the metaphor that everybody has heard before, and you don't need to turn into an image of this old fucker having sex, but
covered in eggs,
covered in broken eggshells.
With broken eggs. Covered in eggs. Salmonella sex is what he's having, and we're not having it. But yeah, that's sort of the energy right now. Because he later goes on to be like, and for those people who like are really upset about it, he's just basically like, why don't you call somebody who cares and get used to it?
I've been actually noticing this. There's been this like overt, like saying go cry about it, that a bunch of conservatives are talking about right now. Like basically saying empathy is stupid and lame. And it was like after there's some pastor who after that bishop did that, you know, like please have mercy on people who are scared.
Yeah,
so it was
have
like
mercy on the people.
Yeah, this like conservative pastor was like, don't commit the sin of empathy. And there's of course been that, you know, that there's that meme where it's like, there was some study that showed that like when you're more to the left, you care about people who are further from you. So like not only your family and your country, but people from other countries. And then if you're more conservative, you don't really care as much like about people further from sort of your center orbit. And conservatives have been like, commentators have been posting that like kind of proudly, like like this makes sense, like we should be doing this because you know, essentially it's a good thing to be selfish and to not care about people who are not directly related to you.
It's never gotten us into trouble before.
It's concerning. Concerning, period.
It does feel like all of this shit is happening the same way that neoliberalism has looted everything in the past, and like all of these billionaires have operated, which is it's all like hidden in complexity. Like it's all hidden like 3 layers deep in a thing that most people can't really make sense of. And there's just so much bureaucratic tape and like bullshit. And so it's just, I think people's brains turn off a little bit. And so that's how it's working. I don't feel like there's going to be, I don't feel like it's as easy for people to get their mind around what is happening and like these like big abstract numbers of like trillions of dollars of aid that's going, you know, like we're going to have to get it through to people that this means that elderly people in your community are not able to get the meals that they need. And
right, like there's like a program in West Virginia that like basically they're not getting their money for a program that drives old poor people to go get dialysis, and they had to lay off like 5 out of 7 workers or something. So people are just going to die, but it's not going to be news. There are going to be people who die because they don't get access to their health care, or they go one too many times without getting their Medicaid or their Social Security. But it's not going to show up as news because, like, how do you know? Like, if Meals on Wheels is not able to get to someone's house, right?
Yeah.
There could be an old person there who dies by like falling, breaking their hip. And normally someone would come and give them food, notice, and bring them to the hospital. And then that's just not going to happen. But that's never going to be attributed to the Doge boys because that's just like, oh, just an old lady died. Who cares? Like, or like, even if you care in general, it's like, it's so abstracted from what's happening. People aren't going to make that connection.
Yeah. It's like people have sort of have this like understanding of civics that it's like reminds me of me being a kid and not understanding where the power came from out of the wall. And I'm like, the power comes out of the wall and that's how everything turns on. And then it's like, but where does that power come from? And I'm like,
the wall.
It's not
I already
just
told you
coming out of the wall. It's a whole interconnected system that, it comes out of a little outlet. And I think that's the thing. That's like the really severe lesson that a lot of people are going to learn.
We got to figure out a way to get them to learn it without making it feel like homework because that like what I think Elon Musk's like genius, like one of the only geniuses that he has is like this Verge article starts out saying he has an uncanny ability to sort out which of America's rules are real, like punishment from the National Labor Relations Board, punishment from NASA. He's like, that's not gonna matter to me. Punishment from the FAA, like those are all people who he's like, gone up against, and he's like, you can't do shit to me, so fuck off. And I think they're like tied in with that is a sense of like who they can victimize, and that's like the unhoused, that's people, immigrants, that's the elderly, that's people abroad, like that's so people that abroad. Is like that is their genius, is like they're good at this. What they're doing, they're good at it. What they're doing is cruel and just like barbaric and horrifying, but they're going to be good at figuring it out. It's not random.
It's also framing civil servants as some kind of like deep state Illuminati, which is, that whole like deep state Illuminati thing is very much has a lot of origins in a lot of white supremacist anti-Semitic groups, of course. But it's like, instead of it being like, hey, the CIA should stop doing coups in South America, it's like your local like person who works for some federal program that drives old people to dialysis is evil and wants to steal your money. Yeah.
Tofu eating. Yeah. They're the tofu eating Illuminati. Yeah. And
Sorry, Jack, it's wokerati.
And that is my mistake, and I apologize. Maybe I'm a part of it.
And come on down to Miles Gray's Woke Karate Dojo.
You need to ask consent before punching someone.
That's right.
May you catch these fucking hands?
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back. We did talk about the CES, Miles. The thing we focused in on was everybody was real into a Roomba that could like pick up a sock.
Oh yeah, that like the articulating arm.
Yeah, kind of. It just had a scorpion tail that like just picked up a single thing, put it in a basket.
Yeah.
But,
That
like,
was just like
it had the ability to pick up 3 socks total before it was like, uh-oh.
The arm fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low battery.
Yeah,
low battery.
pointing out,
That
like,
sock was way
something
too heavy.
that-
Well, this was just weird because I like gadgets and shit. So when the CES stuff, I remember like in my insomnia pulling up a YouTube videos are like the coolest stuff at CES this year. And multiple times I kept seeing this shitty ass robot companion getting all kinds of coverage. And surely it wasn't because it's like remarkable or revolutionary. I'm like, this has to be because it's so weird and off the fucking mark. Yeah. It's a real it's the Robotics robot. And yeah, let me just play a couple clips. One's just sort of like an intro video that was put together by Cheddar at CES. And you can just kind of get an idea of like just a general vibes, its abilities. And then we'll see something more specific.
And just before we start, I do just want to, Katie. So you're gonna watch this video and you're gonna be like, why are they interviewing this woman? What's so fascinating about her? I just have to remind you, right? This is a creation from Robotics.
Okay.
This is man-made. Clearly and also I emphasize the man in this. Clearly a man made this. You're about to be my grandma when I showed her Jurassic Park in 1993.
I'm Melody, your charming companion from Robotics' booth at CES 2025. Welcome to our little corner of...
So this is Melody. She's one of our companionship robots. She's full-bodied, and we have a lot of motors inside her, a lot of servos. She can have real-life expressions. You can change her face in 30 seconds, change her character, change the way she talks. For instance, she can smile. She's smiling right now, and then she can get surprised, and then she can also get angry. So this is her anger.
Hey, and you can change your whole fucking brain in like 30 seconds. You don't like that one? Here, just load up like a more like smiley one. Look, that's her smiling. Oh, now you're gonna see her mad.
I do like how the eyes do not have any servos in that area. That
right.
They don't seem to have a lot of servos around the eyes.
I've seen that before, and it's when somebody is blacked out. That why is this robot so drunk? She seems hammered.
I've been watching a lot of Defunct Land recently, and even like the early Disney animatronics weren't this fucking bad.
But yeah, I do have this thing now that I do to have fun with my husband, which is like I'll like turn around and like smile at him without moving my eye muscles. And it's like a fun little surprise for him. And this does kind of look a little bit like that. Like,
right.
The hello.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you.
Hi.
She can smile. She's smiling right now. As you can see, she's smiling right now. Nope. This is the angry face is so strange.
Angry face looks like sad, depressed.
Oh god.
It's just like, look, she's mad. It was like just like I don't know what it was doing. Yeah, like I can only imagine. It's like, hello, let's hang out. The mouth wasn't even moving. You want to know how much this costs?
It has to be dozens of dollars.
Jack, how about thousands?
What?
Okay, in the order of hundreds of thousands.
Jesus Christ!
How many fleshlights, like good fleshlights, could you buy with that kind of money?
Oh my God, for a full-bodied robot, I mean, God, 100. You could probably fill up the Roman Colosseum with fleshlights for that much money, I'd imagine.
And someone should should do that.
They should. Okay, but I don't want to just dunk on that video because there is a even more convincing video between the founder of the company and their newest iteration of this robot. And look, they are just having a very, very normal, not scripted at all. Please ignore the piece of paper the man is holding. Okay, just showing how kind of like witty and quick this robot is.
Hello, Aria. How are you today?
Oh, that is how I talk to people.
I'm feeling fun and ready to have a great conversation with you.
Can you tell me an interesting fact?
Did you know that honey never spoils? Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible.
I've been thinking about the weather and wondering when it's going to warm up.
Weather can be quite a topic. A little sunshine can definitely brighten the day.
How many humans have you interacted with?
What is he, is he a jealous boyfriend?
How many humans?
How many humans?
Like, what are these questions?
They finally found the treasure.
Dude, right. How many humans?
Don't change the subject on me. I asked how many humans. Oh, dang. The close on his face watching her.
Wait,
yeah. I'm not only a
he
sex robot founder, I'm also a client.
Oh, yeah. You can hear those servos firing so loudly. Like, just to get like one corner of the mouth to rise up. So I like that it has the same wit and intelligence as Jonathan Lipnicki and Jerry Maguire, the little boy, where he was like, honey lasts forever. Bees and dogs can smell fear. You're like, thank you, AI thing.
There is a real possibility that is just how that guy talks to people. And like, so he's just like, tell me an interesting fact. How many humans have you interacted with today?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this is what makes it interesting. So I don't know if you're looking at the doc, but like their first 3 robots they're rolling out are very interesting and kind of across the spectrum of looks. And with Sam Waterston from Law and Order, I think like,
is that who that is?
I feel like it's really like these men who are under the assumption like, dude, you know, every chick loves fucking Law and Order, right? So why don't we make a fuckable Jack McCoy, aka Sam Waterston? Okay.
I have always wanted to have sex with Sam Waterston with the possibility of being electrocuted.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It seems like Sam Waterston mixed with the guy from the I Think You Should Read sketch who has too much
combining
shit
your
on
favorite hobbies.
Yeah, Frank Havoc. Frank Havoc.
I got
with a
too
great
much shit on me.
Frank Havoc,
Why don't you take some of that shit off, big boy?
That is hot.
Too much.
Yeah.
Oh, what does that even mean?
Why do you put some of that shit on me? I don't know. Honey never goes bad. But this company, just so for the record, this company, Robotics, came to be when a Toronto-based crypto firm decided to buy a Vegas-based sex doll company. So the guy you saw talking to the robot, putting it through its paces, is the founder of this sex doll company. And that guy, his sex dolls were so, high end that they were actually featured in Lars and the Real Girl.
Oh yeah, I love his work.
Yeah, that's where Bianca comes from this man's sordid fantasies. And now that company, the Toronto-based crypto firm, they're pivoting away because what they did, like they made news when the metaverse was around. They're like, you got to buy real estate in the metaverse, dude. Like that's the biggest thing. They bought like almost like $2.5 million worth of fucking meta real estate. And then when that shit bottomed out in 2022, like, all right, maybe that was that wasn't great. Maybe we should now pivot to making AI enabled fuck dolls. Although this current iteration is not fuckable from what I've read and heard back from their representatives.
Is it not?
Depends on what your definition is, but we don't recommend it, but it does.
I get that. I guess traditional
necessity is
traditional Android intercourse is not possible here.
Well, Katie Goldin, as always, pleasure having you. Where can people find you, follow you? All that good stuff.
Yeah, I have a podcast with iHeart called Creature Feature. If you're interested in learning about aminals and all the cool stuff in nature while it's still there. I also do a podcast with Alex Schmidt called Secretly Incredibly Fascinating, where he looks up things that I'm like, Alex, that's boring. No one's going to want to hear about this. But I'm wrong every time. He blows my mind with incredible facts. And I don't know. I'm not really using X these days anymore, folks. Because, like, who names an app Eggs? It's called Eggs, and I don't like eggs better than sex. So I'm on Blue Sky. You can follow me at you know what? Just pro bird rights. I've put the bird on there.
The bird is on the sky.
The bird's on the sky, folks.
There you
Birds
go.
on the sky. You know how it is.
The bird's in the sky.
And I'm singing the Josh Groban version, of course. Katie, is there a work of media that you've been enjoying?
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know how this resurfaced for me, but it's Microsoft's Steve Ballmer giving a speech about creating the programming language .NET in 1999, where he's going, developers, while drenched. Now, I'm a bit of a sweater, as in, like, I sweat when I'm, like, podcasting, talking at parties, and so I get it. My dog is like covered. He is drenched in sweat. I don't know. I can give you guys the link here.
Yeah.
And he's emotional about the concept of how developers are going to bring .NET into fruition, and I love the energy.
Okay.
This is what
so
got
what
us in
is
trouble.
the $64,000 question? Holy cow! I'm gonna have to tough it up
so
now. Here we go.
dismissive.
What's the $64,000 question for the field? What is the
Look
most
at-
asked question I've received
He's got, but the
this
sweat
week?
isn't. I want to point
hell
out to
are we
people that the
supposed to do
sweat
about
isn't like
.NET,
on his
Steve?
chest region, under his armpits,
very
or in his
good
elbows.
question.
And again, I'm
And it's
saying this
got a
as a
very,
profuse, sweaty
very
person.
clear
Where if I was in
answer.
this situation, I would be sweating a lot. He is a professional. He is taking this to an art form.
The key to industry transformation, the key to success is developers.
Right.
Can I hear his developers?
It is important to hear it.
Developers. Yes.
And he stamps his little feet too. Doesn't that get you
and just
fired
takes
up?
off into the sky.
I love that.
Yeah, that does. I'm fucking fired up. But those are the people who run the world now.
I can't wait for my baldness to get like his, and I can just get that weird. It looked like he got half a headband on.
It's called
Like,
the Franciscan Friar.
He had a thick band like this.
You got to give me some sides, my man.
I still got a little bit on
God.
top left, baby.
You gotta go full
sides?
Franciscan.
Like that. Woo.
That would be so wonderful.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like. Yeah, exactly.
That would be
Friar
so
style.
beautiful.
That'll be so.
Just get real weird.
But what people don't see off camera, you have all these sketches of me. Where, like,
He's put your face on like a woolly willy and like takes it off.
all you need are 14 servos in your face to get all of those human expressions down.
Miles, where can people find you? Is there a work of media you've been enjoying?
You find me at Miles of Gray everywhere.
PlayStation.
Literally everywhere.
Penguin World?
Even on
Wait, Club
PlayStation
Penguin.
Network. Even on Blue Sky.
Neopets.
Club Penguin I missed Club Penguin. And I use a different name on Black Planet. But anyway, don't try and find that account. But you can find me at those places. You can also find me where? Oh, yes, talking basketball. I'm also checking out Matt Boosties and also talking about 90 Day Fiancé on 420 Day Fiancé. A thing I like from social media. Haven't checked back in with social media. I'm currently having a crisis with the DMV because my house burned down, but I need to renew my registration, and then I can't have them send the new registration to a burned down house, but I have to do it in a certain amount of time before the fee goes up exponentially. So I've been just looking up. I have to go to a DMV office. All that to say is that's what's
It's
been
the
on
Doge
my plate
Department
in lieu
of Motor
social media.
Vehicles.
But I will have some interesting things to share, probably in the next day or so. I hope to be back.
Thank you. It will
Is
be
that
soon if it's
helpful?
not
Is that
already.
helpful,
Is that helpful? I like that. Instead of is that something? Is that helpful? Is that helpful to you?
Does that help?
Is that a thing? Is that helpful? Is that I'm hoping that was merely a road light on your road to recovery.
A tweet I've been enjoying. Let's just go with @girlbossing tweeted, "I'm eating casseroles you've never heard of in flyover states you've never been to."
That's a
joke's
cross
on
stitch.
you. Joke's on you. The people you're talking to have also never heard of the state. That's been my experience. Some of the comedy writers that we've worked with in LA, they're like, "Yeah, you were in Mississippi for a while, right?" And I'm like, "Missouri." They're like, no. You were in Mississippi for a while. Amazing work by Girl Bossing. You can find me on Twitter at Jack_O'Brien, on Blue Sky at JackOB1. We are on Twitter at Daily Zeitgeist. We're on Blue Sky also, right? On Blue Sky? Where are we at Blue Sky? We're at you can find us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daily Zeitgeist. We're at The Daily Zeitgeist on Instagram. We have a Facebook fan page and a website, dailyzeitgeist.com. You can go to the episode right now that you're listening to. Click on it, look at the description of the episode, and you will find the footnotes, which is where we link off to the information that we talked about in today's episode.
Footnotes.
You can see his bald head.
Where you can see my bald head now.
The sides are coming.
He has no hats. Sides.
We also, we'll link off in the show notes to the YouTube channel. We also link off to a song we think you might enjoy. Hey, Miles, is there a song you think people might enjoy?
Yeah, just more groovers, you know? I was listening to some heavy, like, metal kind of shit recently, but I figured, let's go with some groovers. This is from an artist called Ciao Marigold. CIAO MARIGOLD. Ciao Marigold. And the track is called Valencia. And the album is called Satsuma. So I'm wondering if this is all kinds of citrus-based names. But again, this is just a really nice instrumental track. Pretty short, but again,
Pomelo?
Fantastic. Yes, this album, Satsuma, has all kinds of shit because I see sumo, bergamot, Cara, Valencia, Clementine, Koji, Navel. But this track is Valencia. So check this one out by Ciao Marigold.
Ciao Marigold. The Daily Zeitgeist is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. That is going to do it for us this morning. We're back this afternoon to tell you what is trending, and we will talk to you all then. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.